All right, welcome back to the Dr. Jimbo Love Show pick featuring Patrick the Picker. This is Patrick's Super Bowl today, and we are going to just... Welcome to Kentucky Derby Day.
He is a visionary. He is a revolutionary. He is Patrick the Picker with Dr. Jimbo.
Yes. Hey, and we started out with two undercard what do you call these? Under races.
Undercard today at Churchill.
At Churchill Downs. The first one was
throwing left and right hooks right out the gate today.
Floppy shoes.
Floppy socks.
Or floppy
seven.
Socks.
Returned to 6-1. And we just hit Zozo's race 2. It's going to return close to 5-1 on the winners. 2 for 2 out the gate today.
2 for 2. Yep, we're going to get started.
For those who don't know, it's Kentucky Derby Saturday, the first Saturday in May, the Running for the Roses. My Super Bowl, my Rangers may be eliminated, but we are here. Those of you guys like to get dressed up, the real bettors, we wear our secret hat and our wrestling shirts, and we sit at the finish line just like we did at the Belmont.
Yep.
And we gotta get that money. The Picker is here. We're gonna get into some sports, and then we're gonna break down the Derby for you today.
You know it. That is well said. Well said. And people like me just wear our favorite beer and our hockey sweater.
I got blue shorts and a red shirt with the good old US of A hat on, and then he's got.
Not even planned. Didn't even plan it. Nope. Just showed up at the studio and at the bar today.
I should have bought him a wrestling shirt, but the best there is in the wrestling besides the head of the table. I thought I'd wear him today for the Run for the Roses. Red for Roses.
You know it. This is great. So yeah, we're gonna do a little talking about NBA, a little NHL. We'll talk a little bit about women's sports, the upcoming World Cup. Again, that's pretty far in the future, but we're just going to kind of highlight it because that is what Just Women's Sports had on their website this morning. And folks, get out there and look at Just Women's Sports if you're trying to see what is going on in women's athletics across the world. All right, there's some huge news. I was in Wisconsin all week, and I can't believe this, that after 5 seasons and winning an NBA championship in 2021, first one for the Milwaukee Bucks since 1970 or 71. It was 50 years. The Bucks fired their coach, Mike Buckholzer, and he had the best winning percentage of all the teams in the NBA this year. They were a number 1 seed, but they didn't like what they saw in the playoffs, and there were a couple situations where they had double-digit leads in Game 4 and Game 5 in the playoffs. Didn't use his final timeouts in either of these 2 opportunities. Didn't call a timeout when it would have advanced the ball to midcourt. And the Bucks got rid of him. So that is the big news in the NBA, along with the playoffs.
The Buckies suckies, just like the Rangers. I'm going to let Jim break down the sports. I will be here. If you see the hat turn, it's because we got live racing going on today. Can't miss any opportunities here.
We're going to talk a little NHL. We need your insight.
We're going to do the NHL, break it what I can down for you, and then we'll give you any odds that we can for the day. I'm going to let Jim give you the stats, though. Break it down. Bucky sucky, coach out. You can't lose 4-1 as one of the overwhelming favorites and expect to stay around. Get him out.
All right. Let's start out with the East. And we've got the number 8 Heat versus the number 5 Knicks. That series right now is 1-1.
Go Knicks go. Great horse, by the way, Jim. Go Knicks go. Great. One of the all-time best.
Okay. Game 1, the Heat won, and Game 2, the Knicks won. So next game is Saturday today at 1:30. So we'll have that on a little bit here today at Brothers Bar and Grill.
Will not be on volume. The Derby will be on volume.
Yes, we have the Derby on volume, of course. He's taking
Knicks
over
are
the
plus
TVs.
4.5 today on the road at the Heat. Peter missing, I believe. Is Butler still out?
Butler's not playing this game.
So Butler's out. Hero obviously probably going to miss the whole playoffs. Give me the Knicks plus 4.5. We're already doing our picks. We're not even going to wait. 4.5 on the road today. Finish up.
Right on. 76ers. The Celtics, that's 2-1. They played last night. Sixers won the first game. Celtics won the second game. Celtics won the third game. And their next game is Sunday at 1:30. This is all East Coast time. In the West, you got the Nuggies, number 1 seed versus number 4, the Suns. The Nuggets are up 2-1. They won the first 2 games. Chris Paul was out. The third game, the Suns ended up winning.
I don't think he's going to play for a while.
You think he's done for a bit?
3 to 4 games.
Yeah, and that's going to be enough for the Nuggets to, I think, overpower and
Suns won at home though. That's what they had to do. The Nuggets, I think, are plus 2.5 on the road next game. I think the Nuggets steal one, come back and win at home, take it pretty easily.
I do too. That's my pick as well. All right, and then we got our last is, of course, the Golden State Warriors versus...
Before we get there, how come the Celtics play better against the Sixers when the MVP of the league is in the lineup? Does anybody understand this?
I don't know. It is a weird phenomenon.
Celtics were -2 on the road last night. They won by 12, and they've been playing... They lost the first game when Embiid was not in the lineup, correct?
Right. Yes.
So... Can somebody figure this out? Because I can't. I don't know. But if Embiid's in the lineup, take the Celtics. That's how I'm going to start betting.
There was your girl with the blue hat, too. What's her name?
Christina.
Christina.
Her dad's a trainer. One of my biggest friends of all time.
Yes, we have the Kentucky Derby coverage going on right now.
I have 2 of them. She's one of 2.
She is.
She's a TVG gal, a.k.a. now the FanDuel, but she does NBC coverage. My other one also works for TVG.
Okay. I give her a big thumbs up for the hat today. Best looking hat I've seen so far. Nice blue hat. I like it. It's simple. I like the little bit of a tassel on the side. Well, you guys will have to go tune in and watch it.
Look at that. I mean, don't get much better than that. This only comes out for big days and big trips.
Oh my gosh.
We have an honor today.
I don't even know where you bought it for $8. Maybe Walmart.
Not 8.
Was it Target?
Online, and it was more than 8. You can rest assured that. And it's survived Las Vegas numerous times, survived the pool numerous times.
And it's here today.
What's the next game?
Yes. The next game is Warriors-Lakers, okay? That series right now is 1-1. And the Lakers win the first one. The Warriors win the second game. LeBron versus Seth Curry. So what do you think? The next game is for the Warriors Celtics. They play tonight at 6:30 Eastern time.
They're -3.5 at home about the Lakers. The Warriors are not a good road team. I'm going Warriors.
I'm going to go with the Warriors as well.
I just don't think the Lakers have enough. I think they're, I want to say too old because the Warriors are not very young.
Right.
Seth is, if you actually look at Seth and what he's done, Seth is actually getting to be a geezer in terms of NBA standards.
Oh,
Give me Warriors. Plus 3.5. Give me them for the series.
I'm taking the Warriors next game and the series. I'm in complete.
For my buddy Keaton in
agreement.
Albuquerque, I hope the Lakers win, but other than that, no.
All right. Again, the majority of our coverage today is going to be the Kentucky Derby. Let's move on to NHL hockey.
Giddy up, let's go. We're going to move through these, give me the picks, and move it.
The big story, of course, everybody knows it. Number 1 Boston had 64
The
wins.
number 1 story was the Rangers losing to Boston.
Okay. So the Rangers lost 2. We were going to talk about that in a second. But Boston had 64 wins, 135 points, set all these records, and ends up losing in Game 7, and they are out. Colorado, same thing, lose to the Kraken. So both number 1 seeds are gone. This is a wide open field now for the Stanley Cup. And also, as we said, the Rangers are out as well.
Let's break this down.
Let's start with Eastern.
Boston, I think was hurt. They were kind of hurt going into the playoffs. It was a bad time for them to get cold, if you will. I believe they had a lot of injuries, and I think Florida, who is up now 2-0, they took 2 in Toronto. I think Florida, as you can tell, is hot. They got the good parts. Great goaltending right now from Wiley Vet. They made a couple trades and they look really good. Boston up 3-1. I just think that they were cooling down at the wrong time. I think their injuries, hockey, they don't really describe them. I think that's what's going on. Rangers, very simple. They made trades to get talent. They gave up youth, and it showed.
Yep.
The Devils are fast. The Rangers look slow. The Rangers may have put up some big wins, made it to 7, but the problem is that the youth and quickness prevail. And the trades at the deadline, Jury to me is to blame for it. They want Bugs Bunny, as I call him. They want his head, the head coach, but it's Jury's fault. You brought in these players; they were playing very good hockey going into that trade deadline. As soon as they got Tarasenko and Kane, not that they're bad players, but did they fit the part? Right. Maybe if you give those guys to a younger team who's fast and works out. But this team had no speed. Game 7 looked flat. Turnovers, embarrassing. As a Ranger fan, embarrassing. Good for Frank at Barstool Sports. Good for you. But the problem is now you're on tilt because you guys just got blown out by the Caniacs and are down 2-0. So we have 2 series in the NHL after the first round was so tight, and in the East was 2-0.
Yes, we're going to talk about that right now. That's the Toronto-Florida series. The Panthers jumped out and are up 2-0. They won on the road
last night.
Well, they won on the road too, so they're going back to Florida. And
Carolina blowout. Panthers going.
Yeah, I'm talking about Toronto, Florida.
Sorry, I'm jumping the gun. I'm excited today. We got 2 wins in the books. We got
I don't know if we can contain him today, folks. Easy. Take a deep breath. What do they say in anger management?
They say have another beer.
So anyways, Toronto is down. They're facing a tough situation. They have to go down to Florida and win.
Toronto's on suicide watch.
And I'm telling you right now, the Panthers are just playing out of their minds. Carolina Hurricanes, New Jersey Devils. Carolina Hurricanes out to a 2-0 lead very early. Next game is Sunday, 3:30 in New Jersey. So we'll see if Carolina can turn that around on the road. Western Conference, we've got Vegas and Edmonton. Just only one game in that series been played so far. Vegas won it 5-4. Next game is Saturday today, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Dallas Stars, Seattle Kraken 1-1. Game 3 is in Seattle, Sunday, 7:30. All right. So that's all I've got for hockey. What else did you want to talk about with these? How do you feel about
I don't
this
think
series?
the Devils are going to come down 2-0. I don't. I mean, they came back against the Rangers. I wouldn't count them out, but personally, I think the Caniacs are set up pretty good. I don't think that you're going to be able to beat them in a 7-game series down 2-0. If they come home, they've turned that barn into a great barn. I don't see it happening. I see the Caniacs advancing. Toronto, every year it's like they're on suicide watch, like close the towers. They were very high and mighty. They asked for Florida after they went. Well, they got Florida, and the business suites just got swept at home 2-0, and so good luck to Toronto. I don't know about that one. I can see them coming back and making a series as a winning it down 2-0. The worst thing for the NHL that could happen might be to have the Panthers and say the Kraken in the finals. It'll be the worst ratings of all the time. Not to take away from you. Well, Florida doesn't have any fan base. Seattle's getting better and better every year, so not to take away from them. But that's probably the worst case scenario. They're wanting to whatever. Vegas, Edmonton, gonna be a good series.
They want, something like Carolina and the Dallas Stars.
There's going to be no defense in that series. 6-4 should be a significant sign that is going to be no defense. That offense is going to talent them. It's going to be who can honestly give up the less goals, make a couple big saves, and save a couple odd man breaks. Right. That's really what that series is going to be. Vegas quietly.
I was going to ask you about the Vegas series. What do you think?
Vegas quietly, after a great inaugural year, has kind of been floating under the radar this year. Oddly, they're the second best team in hockey. Right. Edmonton better be careful. Because everybody thought, okay, Edmonton. I mean, they got Drysdale, Connor. They got a great squad. But can they get enough defense and goalie? I don't know. I see it going 6 or 7, high-scoring affair, very exciting, which this is what we essentially wanted in hockey. I see the Knights.
I'm hoping for the Knights. Now that the Avalanche are out, I'm rooting for.
Knights playing more team hockey, a little bit more defense, not much better goaltending, but a little better goaltending.
Yep, going with my buddy from high school's team. He loves them. He's got season tickets. So Vegas, Vegas, Vegas out of the West.
Kraken still went on the road in Dallas, which shocked me. To come out, maybe it's a little hangover. Dallas came right back. Talk about a barn that's been very hot lately when they get rolling. Dallas. That place gets erupting, but same to go. You're going to hit the road against the Kraken. I see this as a split again on the road, maybe 1-1.
Right.
So we take it back to Dallas for best of 3. Are you going to give the home field advantage to Dallas? Kraken just seems to be a little bit like the Knights, like they just have it.
Yeah.
They're tightening up on defense, they're getting good enough and above average goaltending when they need. But I do see Dallas as a quick team. They have veterans. I think the West is going 6 or 7 both games. I'm going to lean with Vegas, not a great one. And honestly, I'm going to slightly lean with Dallas. But I think the Kraken can do this. I think the Kraken can go play the winner of them, and you could possibly see 2 of our teams that had just started in the last 10 years face off to go to the West.
Which could be interesting. Kraken and Vegas Knights.
On to the Derby.
We're going to go on to the Derby. Let's just mention real quick.
Yeah, do the women's.
Real fast. We're doing a very abbreviated section.
He's awesome.
Okay. That's our guy right there. I was going to wear a pink shirt today. I almost wore a pink shirt.
Well, technically you can wear your pink on Saturday, but Ladies' Day is Kentucky Oaks Day. You're supposed to wear your pink on Friday. You can wear your pink on Saturday. Jim and I went red, white, and blue for US today.
That's right. That's right. All right. So one thing we're going to just mention about the women's portion here is soccer update. The World Cup prep game and the final selection. Monday, June 26th is the final selection for the team. And then they turn around July 9th, and the United States will be playing against Wales and San Jose, California for a tune-up game. After that, we are going to move into the round of for the World Cup, and we'll be playing each one of the people that are in our division, station, or however they call it there. So be watching for that. All right, so what everybody's been waiting for and what Patrick's been waiting for is the Kentucky Derby. Patrick's got it all lined up here for us. He's going to walk you through almost every single horse. You're going to have all your bets and all your picks. And go ahead, Patrick.
First off, let's do a cheers. This is the start of summer, horse racing, baseball, golf. Some of us, our loser hockey teams are over. For us, we're getting ready to face the Stanley Cup Finals. For those of you in basketball, same thing. But
Drink your drink. I already drank mine.
Ultra, please.
Hey, by the way, we are at Brothers Bar and Grill, the Shops of Northfield. Come on down. We've got, as you can hear in the background, we'll have the Kentucky Derby and all the undercard races going on all day long. Come on in. FanDuel is allowing you to bet. I did a $5 bet on the very first race, and floppy shoes with the floppy socks. Floppy socks wins. I didn't even know the name of it.
I gave Jim the horse, and I didn't even get my bet in.
He didn't get his bet in.
6-1. Then the next race, Zozo's I got. Jim
my phone was up.
We're very excited around here today. So we're hitting race 7, which will post here in about 16 minutes Mountain Time. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more graded races, all very big races, top horses, great fields, and the start of the summer racing. We'll get right into it though. We're going to the Derby.
We're going right to the Derby.
Got some big stories to tell you about. First off, Forte, the juvenile breeders winner, which is usually the trend and the best horse for the 3-year-olds, which is what we're racing today. Got scratched with the bruised foot. I saw Michael Scully He is a New Yorker, Italian guy. Actually, he sold out vitamin water to Coca-Cola.
Oh, that's
one of his claims to fame, and he's very big in the horse racing. Saw his interview this morning. It was quite sad. He almost had no voice because he hasn't slept. He's been speechless. Very sad when you can't get the odds-on favorite in there, but in the best interest, especially in the last 10 years, for the horse. The other thing we got to talk about is Churchill Downs has had a little controversy. They had 4 horses die within almost a matter of 7 to 10 days.
Oh my goodness.
2 of them trained by the same Joseph, which was the trainer on, please hold, Lord Miles, who was scratched. 2 of his horses died throughout the week during the training or racing. They decided to suspend the trainer because obviously what they found in the horses they were not happy with. And because of that, Lord Miles, not that he did anything wrong as the horse, is going to be suspended and not allowed into the Kentucky Derby for fear that it may happen again.
Did they test Lord Miles to see if she
I haven't gotten that. They didn't, as of yesterday, did not give the details. Essentially, trainer suspended, your horse is out, we're not doing this anymore. So they're trying to make some statements, which is...
But we don't want somebody dying on the track in the Kentucky Derby, right?
Well, especially if a horse goes, usually the jockey goes. So you're going to get a horse possibly euthanized, and then you're going to get a jockey severely injured or whatnot.
Right.
It's sad because watching Lord Miles, their contingency won the Aqueduct in a very great race. Very big long shot, and the excitement on the people who are closest to that horse, the lower level people, were so excited. To hear that news kind of broke my heart. But again, as it goes, it's a statement that if you're going to have a trainer and he has this going on, and then they're going to test you, and there maybe was something going on, you automatically, they're not dealing with it anymore. They're trying to clean up the game. They've been trying to clean up for years, and this is a step in the right direction. On that note, number 1 is Hit Show. Came out of the same race as Lord Miles. He did not really have a great race. Ended up actually fighting hard to lose by a nose to Lord Miles. This is in the Wood Memorial and Aqueduct, and this is our number 1 Hit Show. His morning line odds are 30 to 1. His live odds right now are 26 to 1. Trained by Brad Cox, who is now like the Bob Baffert of training essentially this last couple of years. For trainers, he has 4 horses. Right. 4 out of the contingency going in. That's a big number. This is one of his. This one could make. I want to write him off. I did not like his prep race. I think he can make a running today, though. Lost by a nose. Needs a big effort. The whole thing in the Derby is being on the rail with that many horses. You kind of get leaned in. So you usually get written off. I wouldn't write off Hit Show. Put him at the bottom of your exotics, your trifecta, superfectas. Number 2, Verifying. Brad Cox, second horse. Tyler Gaffney-Owen is riding today. Did very well in both the Rebel, which is in Oakland Park, grade 2 race. Bluegrass, which is a grade 1, both Derby preps. He finished second by a neck in the Bluegrass to probably my odds on my favorite today. And then the
Verifying.
This is Verifying. And he finished, I did not like his race in the Rebel, but it looks like a tough horse and could be his day to giddy up and go. A strong horse. I don't know what to make of him. He could be tired, or he could be really good and finish in the top 2, 3, maybe even win the damn thing. Again, right now, not my horse at Verifying. The number 3 horse is 2 Phils. Don't get confused. Number 3 horse, 2 Phils. Great race in his Derby prep race. Took off, won by 5 1/4 lengths. He's getting ridden by Loveberry, not a very big name jockey, not one of our top ones. Right now, he is 8 to 1, and he is one of your top 5 favorites. He kind of got loose on the lead and took off. My thing with getting loose on the lead in your Derby preps is you're getting all the better horses, and these leads aren't going to go as easy as they once did. But looks very good. He had blinkers on, and it looked like it served him well. Something to worry about. Confidence game. He ran
Number
4.
Are we going all 18?
We're going quickly as possible. Keith DeSormo trainer, Graham is the jockey. He did not run a secondary prep race. He won the Rebel, got enough points to get in. That day was in the slop, so it's kind of hard to judge this horse. Slop being it was rainy, it was a nasty day. If the track was sloppy, I'm sure you'd see this horse take, but it looks like a nice day. It's going to be sunny, a little bit overcast later, fast track. He won by about a length in that race. People think he could be a good underdog shot. My thing about this horse is I believe the owner stables is Don't Tell My Wife Stables. If you've ever seen the YouTube video or have a group chat with the boys, Don't Tell My Wife Stables. There's something about this horse that intrigues me. Right now, 17-1, open to 20-1. Give a look out here. My pick of the whatever. I'm worried he's gonna be tired, but this is my pick. Number 5, Trapper Trice. Sias is the jockey, Todd Pletcher is the trainer, Sire Tappet. He won the Bluegrass, which is probably one of the best Derby preps going on.
He's still 5-1?
No, because of Forte, he was 5-1, 9-2. So he's right now currently the second favorite with one of our other horses we'll talk about.
Gotcha.
He's the gray. I used to hate the grays. When I look at his sheet, first off, he caught my eye just with the name. Then you read into him, and then he's a gray. He's my pick. It's not going to be he's going to be the odds-on favorite, the second favorite. You're not going to get the best price. You're going to get 5-1, but came out of a good one. He won a tough race at the Bluegrass by a neck, but probably my top choice, if not
King's Barn. I love this choice. This is my choice.
Todd Pletcher's second horse, Jose Ortiz, which has already won today on the card. Very overwhelming at the Louisiana Derby, which is in New Orleans. Same thing though, kind of got off on a hot start, no real competition, took off, and he was first by 3.5 lengths. He is now 10-1, he's in the top 5 choices.
10-1, it's gone down. He was 12-1.
12-1, well, everything's going to go down because the favorite went out.
Oh, went out, I got
it. The 3-1 favorite Forte's out, so you can see his odds slim up for what. Reincarnate, Velasquez
Number 7
is a veteran jockey. Yakutin is the trainer. He came in at the Arkansas Derby third, 4 3/4. Some people think he can make a step up at a big price. He was 50-1 on the morning line. People must love him in the works and what they're seeing because he's 13-1 after the scratch to Forte and the current betting odds. From what I saw, he was trained by Bob Baffert before he went into the Rebel. The Rebel he finished third at 2.5 lengths behind, and then he went into the Arkansas Derby. Both are at Oakland, both are big Derby preps.
Right.
And he finished at that. I didn't like what I saw, but what I've been hearing all day is he looks good, the chatter's good, and it's 3-year-olds. Sometimes they just need a month and they need to freshen up and they can come back. Not my horse today, but if you get him, you're not getting him at 51, you're getting him at 13-1. Lucky number 7, unlucky. Now the 8 we gotta talk.
Oh baby,
Mage is the 8. Got 3 races in the 8. Okay? He went in the Florida Derby against what was supposed to be the biggest badass horse, for lack of better words, Forte. He didn't get out of the gate. Horrible start, buffed out of the gate. Usually when you do that, you don't have a hope. That horse should have won. Forte just showed such a strong effort of what a good horse he was and why he won the Breeders' Cup and why he was the favorite today. He came flying around the turn. I don't know how he even lost. Second by a length. This horse, I like this horse that can come off the pace. This horse right now is 17-1, opened up at 15-1. With Tappet, the 8's going on my ticket for Exactus and Trifecta. Please look out for the 8. Castellano as the jockey. And the thing is, you don't really know about the trainer, not a big name, Delgado Gustavo. So we'll see what happens.
I want to make sure our seats were saved.
I saved the seats. 3 of them. One for me, you, Deber.
People are starting to come in, folks. Come on down to Brothers Bar and Grill. Shops in Northfield.
The 9 came out of the Santa Anita Derby, ran a great effort, third, scratched. The 10 Practical Move, big scratch, won the Santa Anita Derby, heavy temperature. They decided to scratch the horse a couple days ago. The 11 Disarm, We're gonna try to keep it short and sweet. Joe Rosario, great jockey. Steve Asmussen, great trainer. The name, when I first looked at the list before I knew anything about these horses, when I look at names and the number, he's the 11. He's the Messier. He's got a gray sweater when he runs. It intrigued me. I'm gonna have to do a small win bet. I do not like what I'm seeing out of the horse. Finished third in the Lexington. Finished second in the Derby, but could show up with the big effort today with the right trip. Small win bet on him. He's one of those. He's a name and a C bet, not anything other than that. Jason's Road, Guru Bradcock's third horse, the number 12. The Louisiana Derby, didn't like the race. Third by 6 1/4 lengths. The Southwest finished fifth by 12 3/4. People, 50 to 1 on the morning line, 32 right now. Good jockey, throwing him out. That's just my personal opinion. Don't like the horse, throwing him out. Sun Thunder came out of the Bluegrass, finished 6 1/2 lengths in fourth. Came out of Louisiana Derby, finished fifth, 8 1/2 lengths back. The Risen Star, the race before that, finished second by. Just not seeing it. Hernandez is there. Ken McPeak, great jockey, great trainer. Not seeing it. If you like the A-Rod, he's your number 13. Take him, but not for me.
Number 13. Number 14.
Our current or maybe even the favorite right now.
Angel of the Empire.
4 to 1. Flavian Pratt, very good jockey last 3 years. Brad Cox's fourth horse. Looks to be maybe his most dangerous. I don't know if that you could say that. He won the Arkansas Derby, won it very overwhelmingly. Very big race in Oaklawn Park, won it by 4 1/4 lengths. He won the Risen Star by a length. Mile and eighth. Today we're going mile and a quarter. Got out to a pretty good lead and never looked back. The thing you gotta look about this horse, Classic Empire, great one. And honestly, everybody's starting to chatter that he's the one. They think he's fresher than, say, maybe My Choice Tappet. And we'll see what happens. But your co-favorite, if not, he'll probably go off as the odds-on favorite. I'm guessing no less than 7 to 2, if not 4 to 1.
He's at 8 and 1. 8 and 1 on ESPN this morning.
He was 8 to 1 on the morning line. Those are all morning lines.
That's right. Okay, so these are
4 to 1 right now with the scratch to Forte.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then we have the number 15 Forte Savvy Scratch. We already told you the story. To that whole connections, it's a sad day over there. Race Cane's the 16. Going to be a long shot. 50 to 1, 30 to 1 on the morning line. Bluegrass, he finished 6 3/4. The Bluegrass is in Kentucky. It's at Keeneland. It's one of the big Derby preps. He did the Gotham, which he did win in New York, which is kind of a race up to their other big one, the Wood Memorial. He did win first at 7 1/2 with Lascano as jockey. Lascano is not riding today, but if you want to get a big price after a horse that won a good race and maybe threw up a bad one, get Raised Cane's. It's also named, for you who are very into the church, I read into the story, it's named after the Bible, with Cain in the Bible. If you look into it, it's a big old story.
I always thought that in the South you talk about raising Cain. Raising Cain is causing trouble, partying, having a
We're
good
not
time.
talking about the chicken joint that opened up down the street here either. We're talking about the Bible, and this is what it was named after.
Okay.
The one that really
So they're raising Cain, Cain and Abel?
Yeah,
Is that what we're talking about?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. The 17th, Derby Sotogate. First of 2 Japanese horses. The other one got in off the also eligible. This horse went to the UAB Derby. This is in Medan, overseas. Big races over there. Horse looked fast, got off to an alarmingly
Japanese
quick,
horse, right?
Japanese horse, but race in the Middle East on a big Saudi Cup day, which is big money day. If you watch the race, look fast, look fit, look furious. Will he get an early lead like that in the Derby? I don't think so. But right now, he's your 3rd or 4th choice right now. 8 to 1, 10 to 1 was the morning line, 8 to 1. Japan's looking to win one of these. They got 2 horses, and I think both of them have a shot. Do not write off the 17. Rocket Can.
Last one, folks.
No.
We have more?
No. Junior Alvarado, love Junior Alvarado, New York jockey. Rides long shots very well. He finished 4th at the Arkansas Derby. He finished 2nd in the Fountain of Youth and won the Holy Bull. Those are all Derby preps. All ridden by Junior Alvarado. Wilmot trainer, great trainer. What scares me about this is this jockey can win at long shots. I've bet him a lot of times in the New York Racing Association. What I don't like is the races. Ever since the Holy Bull against better competition, I'm not seeing the efforts. If you want a good price, 30 to 1 on the morning line, 27 to 1 on Rocket Can with a jockey who can ride long shots to victory. Junior Alvarado, I don't believe, has ever won a Kentucky Derby. Lord Miles, we talked about, scratch because of his trainer and the deaths of the track. Continuar was a second, he was a third in the same race we just talked about, the number 17, which was Dermisota Guy, another Japanese horse. Wasn't really in contention. I believe they just scratched him because he wasn't ready. I don't think he was ready. I didn't hear anything about him in terms of a fever, anything going on with that. 3 also eligibles get in, and we're going to ride with 18 today because Forte scratched. We usually have 20. Cyclone Mission did not look terrible at the Florida Derby, but wasn't with the top guns. All 3 of these also eligibles are going to have big prices. 30 to 1, 21 to 1, and 32 to 1. They all have a shot in my mind. I like the way he ran. I think he can improve. Finished 3rd at the Florida Derby, 3rd at the Fountain Youth. You could see another, the last year was the 21 that came in and won.
Yep.
I have a feeling. This one I like.
Mandarin
This
Hero.
one is going to be in probably my exacta. If I do, I'm going to spread exactas. I'm going to spread some tries. I'm going to do some wins. We got the race going on here, no bets. Mandolin Hero. He came flying at the Santa Anita Derby like a bat out of hell late, which is what you need in this race. If he can, and did not get out of the gate well either. Not great. The other 2 horses I told you I like, didn't get out. If they get out of the gate well and do run, see this horse coming by, he could be a surprise. 21 to 1 out of Santa Anita Derby. Our last horse, King Russell, he finished a decisive second at the Oakland Park in a good race. And then you also have him first in the neck in his maiden. King Russell at 32 to 1 can step up. Do not leave any of these 3 also eligibles if you like him out of your ticket. We're here at race 7, Twin Spires, Turf Sprint. It's on the grass. We did no bets. We're going to finish up with you. We took a race off to finish up with you. And Jim, do you have any? Who's your pick today?
Well, my pick, of course, is going to be King's Barn, but I'm also going to be probably following a lot of what he does, mainly because look at the research he did, folks. Excellent section. Really good segment for Patrick the Picker, and did some great research. Has it right here. We're watching this down the stretch. Is this the guy? What are the odds on this gentleman right here? Looks like he already...
No balls. 38 to 1 on 5.5 furlongs. They let him loose on the front end, and you're going to see some prices, folks. Good thing we maybe took... I didn't have him on my board. No. I had Go Bear Goes as the 2. He might have came in second. But I think you're seeing a 38 to 1. This is what horse racing is all about.
Yeah, 38 to 1. That would have been a good one to bet. All right,
Shall
folks.
we end it?
Well, yes. Thank you very much for tuning in. Cheers. Kentucky Derby Saturday. Come on down to Brothers. Check us out. We will be here all day. As you can hear, the sound is on. This is a lot better place than going to, Red and Jerry's or something like that. You have better TVs and you have a lot more space. Plus, you have a lot better food.
You have a lot better people.
And a lot better people.
You have the best there is.
Not to say anything bad about Red and Jerry's, because I've spent a lot of time at Red and Jerry's over the years.
All right, Jim, looks like 1-11-2.
Okay. Folks, we want you to remember to come back and visit us. Next week, we were not going to be able to do the show. I'm unfortunately going to be stuck out of town. And Patrick, I think you're going to be doing some stuff too.
Yeah, my birthday's coming up. I got to go to New Mexico. We got Mother's Day on Sunday. We're going to try to do as best we can, get you some Derby results and whatnot. Maybe one of these days we'll do a remote show where we're doing it like in the man cave.
Yeah, we'll see. Definitely.
Go ahead. We always say, just end it the way we do.
Oh yeah, just get out there, guys. Get your side hustle on. Make some bets today and earn it. Thank you very much for tuning in, folks. Get out and watch the Kentucky Derby. Come on down here to Brothers. We'll be here all afternoon. Thank you very much.